Here we are going live.
We're live now.
We're live?
Yep.
Ah, it's telling me it's setting up for live. Redirecting to your Facebook Live page.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi. Right, it is live streaming. I can't see my page at the moment, but hi, this is Susie Chill, and this is the Abundance Show. And this is the first intuitive psychic wisdom reading with my beautiful monthly co-host, Beth Elaine Haynes. So everybody, welcome to 2020. What a special year this is going to be. And this is the year for, I'm sure we've all set amazing intentions to step forward, to fully love ourselves into abundance and to colour our worlds. And as you can see behind, I've added a lot of colour to the wall behind me this year. And I've got a light showing as well, but that's okay. So that's where we are. And if I'm slightly out of it, I am. I've just come off a 6-day mastermind mindset of life-changing mind, body, spirit, and I think I need a day's sleep. But here we are on this first show. It's going to be fantastic. And I just want to start and ask, I set some words for this year. Did anybody else set word? You might see behind we've got free, and I'm just going to show you this one. This is Des's word for the year, which is bold. He decided to be bold, so I've done a bold painting for him. Mine is free and wild is where I'm going in 2020. What about you, Beth? Did you choose a word or a phrase for 2020?
Absolutely. Susie, I've been doing that for many years. My word for this year is serendipity.
I love it. Oh, that is beautiful. That is just amazing.
Yeah, so that's allowing the magic to happen by following your spiritual body, by listening intuitive to what you know is right for you, and not letting your mind change you out of what you know is right, because that's when the magic happens. That's when the magic happens.
Absolutely. And look at this. I've got to share it with everybody what the card was I drew today. And I mean, it's a card I really need. Your heart knows.
Yes, it does.
So much from what Beth has just said, you know, and this is what I actually have a bit of a lot of whirlwind in your mind. Take time to be still and whisper to your heart, tell me, and listen. And that's something a lot of us just don't do enough of. We don't actually sit in that stillness and listen. I've been doing quite a lot of readings for people, and I'm quite amazed at coaches and things. They should be meditating, taking time to sit in stillness, but they're not actually doing it themselves. It's been quite interesting. It's been quite enlightening. In that way that we can be so good at telling other people what to do, but I really know that every day I must sit in stillness. And I now have 3 alarms, and that's come from my mentor Kate. 3 alarms where I stop and I pause and I breathe and I take 5 minutes just to be recenter, to make sure I'm present.
Yeah, I tell all my clients that, and it's something that I've taught for years, is that when you're building new habits, you need something that's going to prompt you to do that. And setting an alarm on your phone, having it written in your diary, having it on your schedule of importance for the day is one way where you keep your consciousness in check, so you're able to be in alignment with what's congruent for you.
Absolutely.
It's a great thing to do. So you're changing habits, you're changing unconscious programming into conscious living, and you need to, and it takes 21, 28, 30 days to change into a new program to bring about a new consciousness. So you need prompts, you need reminders, you need something or someone holding your hand until it becomes, oh, that's that time of the day again, or I check in on myself, or am I breathing, am I grounded, am I really hearing what's happening around me? Am I seeing what's happening around me?
That's absolutely absolutely correct, because I did last year. I did the 5 a.m. club.
Oh, yeah.
And that was 66 days to create a habit. And then along came Christmas and January, and I don't know, I didn't do that. And I'm now deciding, it's what we've got, February the 1st tomorrow, and will I start back on that? So that'll be some of my contemplation. Hi, Christiane. I'm just setting this up on my computer so I can see. I'm deciding, it's what we've got, February the 1st tomorrow. Sorry. And will I start back on that? So that'll be some of my contemplation.
Susie, I'm getting feedback, darling.
I'm trying to. There, it's gone.
Gone?
Sorry about that. It was, I didn't have the sound off as I went through. I was just trying to see the comments.
You're very clever. You're very clever.
Thank you very much. But anyway, so we're now I can see us here, and we've got Christiane, we've got Sylvia. It says there's other people there, but I can't see you. So if people can say hi as you come on, you're going to be able to ask us questions. I will do some card readings later on. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand over to Beth, and I'm going to just go and share this to my page as well. So I'm just heading back here for a minute, and I'm going to put you on speaker view for a minute. Okay, Beth, take it away. We're going to be talking about how we make friends with fear.
Yes, it's an interesting concept, Susie, that as a healer, as an empath, and as someone who mentors people through fear, years and years and years and years and years of this happening, you find that fear is an opportunity for you to grow exponentially. It's an opportunity for you to embrace what your soul is calling for you to add to your expansion. So face your evolution, acceleration, and rise, and accept the challenge, because it's your physical body, because fear is something that we feel it physically. We can get anxiety, we can get feeling in the stomach, we can get chest pains. We have a physical reaction to fear because our body doesn't lie. And it is something that is challenging us, either emotionally or physically or mentally or spiritually. And we need to look really closely at what comes to us when we're in a fearful situation. It's either can be a muscle memory of a childhood, or an accident, or a situation where it was out of your control. So this is your body's way of telling you that it's okay. We need to look at this closely, because this is an opportunity for us to grow. This is an opportunity for us to step through this and leave it behind us, because we restrict ourselves with fear. We restrict ourselves. Everything tightens. Our mind tightens, our body tightens, our airways tightens. Everything's tightened, so nothing can get in. So you're putting yourself into a place of darkness because of fear. Now, if we face the opportunity or face the evolution of our attitude towards that, and we open ourselves up to the opportunity that is in front of us, then we have an opportunity to grow exponentially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and walk through that fear and be triumphant. So fear is an amazing, when fear comes to you or you're in a situation that is fearful, you need to really look at how it is impacting upon you, because it is an opportunity for you to release it. Make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely makes sense. I'm just going to take us back to.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a workshop during the year on that, because everybody has fears, everybody has trepidation, everybody feels that they are not able to do that. I cannot do that. Well, you can. You just need to look at the situation and just see what it is bringing to you, how it's going to open you up. And you could walk away with a whole new attitude, a whole new perspective, and a whole new lot of friends. It's amazing.
It is. And the other thing that, of course, we say is when we are fully in that space of love, there is no fear.
No.
Absolutely. But it's getting to that that space of love. It was somebody, everybody knows that my story is about, my healing journey was about fully loving myself. And I've spent so many years doing so much work on fully loving myself.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was told by somebody I really know and respect well, that said to me, Elizabeth said to me, you've still got to fully embrace that love within. And we've been doing a whole lot of work on money and our money attitudes and things, which was quite fascinating to look back on family things and your own things. And and she said to me, when you fully love yourself, the money will be flowing much more than it is. So that I find that's quite interesting for me, given all the work I've done on self-love. So that's it. So there's obviously some little fear in there still that, stops me being maybe as expansive and as bold as I want to be.
Yeah, also embody the fact that you are deserving of abundance on all levels, mind, body, and spirit. It's okay to think that how am I going to create it? But you need to embody the fact that you are deserving of it, and it comes to you easily and freely and with grace.
That's right. Absolutely.
I mean, the universe will always provide for everyone, but the universe can only meet us where we are at.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. So your thing about talking about fear is hi Angelique, is so good, because when we make friends with it, we're really embodying that love we have within ourselves even more, and the value. It's about valuing who we are. And I think that's why doing out those.
Fear restricts your mindset, Susie.
Absolutely.
Fear restricts your mindset. Yeah. It restricts your ability to receive, because no light can get in if you are, I guess, wrapped up in chains of your own imagination.
I can actually see that picture of people's brains, and you've got a chain around it. So you're stuck, aren't you? Until you
get... a lot of fears are genetic too, and a lot of fears are genetic. They're historic. They're passed down. They're what you've seen. So you've got to get through a lot of baggage or a lot of stuff that isn't even yours, and that's where being mindful and in the moment of who you are, that will help de-shackle you, take away those chains, because it's hard to be, and it's also, your environment as well. What your family's mindset is around wealth, what your grandparents, we are the product of people that live through depressions and wars and famine and flood and fire and what's happening at the moment in our country. But we've been through our generations prior to us that are genetic connection, and unless they were fortunate enough to come from wealth, didn't know what it was truly like to be financially abundant because of the environment to which they were born into. Not because of their mindset, but because they were told to think less than of their own capability because of the world environment.
I think that's really interesting because what came up for me over these last 6 days when we were doing different exercises is because I come from an abundant life. I grew up in our capital, which was a very abundant city.
Yeah.
I always had holidays by the beach from when I was a baby to when I was 20 that, my father always paid for. So I come from a very abundant thing. But where my self-love thing comes from is my mother. My mother, who was the most competent person, she was Tiffany's secretary. She was the most amazing volunteer. But inside, she never had that really self-worth. And that's what's come up. I thought I dealt with it, but that was what came up for me. So when you're talking about the sort of genetical thing and the family thing, there's one more thing that we just have to clear or let go of to actually step into our full value, which is what I say is, love yourself into unlimited abundance. And when we can do that, we can really live a life of freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's the you have to be willing to do the due diligence to find out where the issue is or where the thinking is. Where does it come from for it to be finally, for you to be finally free of it? Because any work that you do on yourself genetically, you do on your whole family. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So that for me was that was my big revelation that I thought. I thought I'd done quite. So I'm going to do some more journaling on that today. But I'm feeling much freer because I can see where some of that patterning had come from me. Hi, Kelly. Kelly's a beautiful friend of mine from Washington.
Hello.
Yeah, she's another artist and a lecturer over there. I'm just watching who's coming on as we're talking. So, and that really applies into what you were talking about, your word, and about synchronicity and
Serendipity.
Serendipity, sorry.
Yeah,
serendipity. Right. Really listening to our heart as well.
Yeah, because we've got a. It's an analogy that I use because it's something that everyone can relate to. We're habitual. We're people and creatures of habit because it's easy for us. So it is. It's easy. Our mind's already made up before we have an opportunity to change it or to feel anything else because of our unconscious programming and how we just are on automatic pilot, for 70, 80, 90% of the day. So serendipity offers you the opportunity to tune into that consciousness where your body goes, okay, we're going to go left today. And not just the normal habitual way. That's what serendipity offers you, because then all the magic that was meant to happen that day will happen. And listening to that consciousness of your physicality may have prevented you from having an accident, may have prevented you from being late, may have prevented you from all sorts of things that weren't part of your soul's purpose. But listening to your innate wisdom and your consciousness, you turn left and, you catch up with a girlfriend you haven't seen for 12 months. You find $50 on the ground. You buy a lottery ticket and scratch. So when you're in the flow of your soul's purpose, magic happens. That's why I chose serendipity.
That's what I love that. I just love that when you are in the flow of your soul's purpose, magic happens.
That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a card that says magic happens, and I think sometimes we forget about the magic that we are, and we forget, and that's where that ties back into what you're talking about with fear.
Yeah.
And I believe
It's the
that
biggest block. It's the biggest block.
Mm.
You know, people fear rejection in their relationships. People fear rejection of putting their product or what they're passionate about out into the universe because people fear what other people think. You know, so fear holds us back on so many levels, and it restricts our interaction with the universe. It restricts the relationships that we can have. It restricts our mind being able to expand because an open door has no blocks.
Mm.
You know, there's
I love
nothing
that,
that's, yeah, there's nothing, you know, if you're open-minded and fearless, there's nothing to stop you from doing anything, whether it be environmental, a simple gesture of kindness. When you don't fear being rejected by the universe, because that's self-rejection as well. Anytime that you feel rejection is a feeling that you have towards yourself that you are not good enough. If
I
you fear rejection, you're fearing that you are not good enough. And if you face that and you go forward, then you have a greater sense of self, a greater sense of self-worth, and it's much easier for you then to be fearless.
I love, yeah, that is so true. And the other thing is people need to remember they have a choice. They have to
Always.
choose whether they want to do that.
And there's power in that too, Susie. You know, like you can, timing is of the essence as well. You know, like there's nothing like perfect timing or divine timing, or because if you're in the flow of what your soul purpose is and you're not forcing things, you know, because you can't force anything neither. You know, everything has its own evolution that will support you if you're in alignment with your purpose. You can't put out there because you want to create something for the sake of creating it, because you want to create an income, or you want because so the flow of your fearlessness needs to be in alignment with your purpose. It cannot be forced.
And that's where some people fall down, isn't it, Beth? Because a lot of people,
Absolutely.
they're being told that, you know, if you take this path, you're going to make six figures, and you're
Yeah.
going to, you know, you got follow me, and this will work. And I mean, I've done it. I've joined things in others, but it hasn't been in full alignment with who I am.
What
And
you're seeking isn't out there.
no, that's right. It's within.
It's here.
And it's been very interesting for me over these last 6 days because we did many exercises where, you know, you just had to go with what was coming from your heart, whatever else.
Yeah.
And, you know, what is your, you know, why are you here? What is your purpose? And I've been, you know, love yourself into abundance, which is, I think, is, you know, open your heart to love. I keep thinking. But what kept coming up for me over this time was color. Why am I here? To color the world, to color your world. And it's been coming up for me in meditation. And I, you know, people saying, I know, Susie, you need to go this. But what came up this week was, yes, I am here to color your world, to color the world. And what's fascinating is that was my tagline when for 15 years, when I had my textile art business, where I used to put art on people's bodies so that they stood out from the crowd and they looked and felt fantastic. So I'm now, that is the really authentic me that I'm tying into the self-love and abundance work that I do. So I'm, and it's fascinating. I've been so exhausted this morning. And now when I talk about that, I can sort of feel the excitement in my body. And I feel, that's why I put all this colour behind me last week.
Can I share something with you, Susie?
Yes, please.
Okay, I just received a message while you were talking about, you know, colour your world. Have you ever thought of putting colour therapy classes together for people, because so many people heal through colour?
No, I haven't. And
well, I think that's something that you need to consider.
I need to consider.
Yeah,
because
because
I've never actually, I mean, I've done lots of color work, but I've never actually done color therapy.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing because you're a born healer. You're a natural empath, and you have great intuition. And I feel that you'd be able to help people express outwardly on a canvas the emotion that they were feeling and help them release fear, release creativity, release emotions, release things. It's an amazing format. It's an amazing modality, and I think that would be something that you could harness and do really well.
That's fascinating because one of the hold on. Are you still live? Do you know? Can you see on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm live.
You're live. It looks like I'm not sure what's happened on mine. I've got I don't know whether still connected. It's stopped. It's stopped on Facebook, so we'll just keep going. And if you can still see it, it's fine. It was mine. Yeah, so that is fascinating because one of the things that's come out of it, something I do is a heartscape.
Is it what?
Something for a heartscape where I paint other people's hearts. And
beautiful.
through a process that I do. And yesterday or the day before, I was talking to somebody about this color your world, and she's a branding expert, and she's come back to me with something about what you're talking about, helping people, paint their heart, paint their spirit. So yeah, it's really interesting. There might be a workshop even coming up out of that, I feel.
Oh, definitely, because a lot of people express through their hands.
And it's something
because the hands are attached to the heart chakra, so it's a natural extension of your heart.
Which is where I've always had, my back issues and things. Everything that's attached to my heart when something goes astray. So thank you for that, Beth. That is amazing. As I revamp some of what I'm doing, I'll be having a much closer look at that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think it'll be wonderful for you and those people that come to you for that.
And also, I'm going to be doing a lot more readings and things. As somebody gave me a testimonial yesterday for a reading I'd done, and she said, "Well, Susie, you are psychic." And I thought, yes, the more I do it, the more I open into that intuition and things that I have.
Well, we all are, Susie. We all are.
No, we all are.
It's not everybody's calling, and and that's okay. But we all have our senses, and which is our spiritual body, and our spirituality is our physical body, and that's one of the greatest teachings that you can empower others in, is to listen to the language of your body, because it will protect you, it'll excite you, it'll teach you to trust, it'll teach you to trust places, situations. There's the truth that you're seeking is within yourself always.
Always. Thank you, Kelly. She said she can see and hear us both, so that's great.
Oh, thank you.
I can't see it. My screen's gone funny on my computer. So that ties in so well to this card that I drew this morning, does it not? Your heart knows. Yeah.
Sorry?
I said this ties in so well to the card I drew today.
Yeah, it does.
Your heart knows. Absolutely. So, there we have the synchronicity, the serendipity that flows through when we're totally in trust. Now, does anybody have any questions for Beth or for I? I just, there's a bit of a delay between. Do you have one tip for people, Beth, while we're waiting to see if there are any questions on how somebody? What would be one thing you would suggest to people to move out of fear into what I call love?
Breath.
Breathing.
Breathing, always. It's your first port of support is the breath.
Right.
3 beautiful deep breaths.
Right. We should do that now for everybody who's here. So just So, something goes wrong. Something's gone. You've got, oh, panic, fear. So let's everybody just get very still. And close your eyes. And let's all just do a deep, deep breath. And one more.
It brings you back to your consciousness. It brings you back to in this moment and helps you identify what your highest need is immediately. And it also, sometimes people can go into overwhelm when people put them in situations that are foreign to them and put them on the spot in asking them a question. So one of the best things is you can do is, if you're a person that always rushes and says yes and oh my God, why did I say yes to that? Or why did I do that? It's because you're not taking that breath of consciousness that will allow you that pause to connect with your mind, your body, and your spirit, and also give the opportunity to say, can I get back to you? Or I can't answer that answer just right at this moment. You know, because people will put you on the spot because it serves them. Whereas a breath allows you the time to gather your thoughts and to be able to say, I'll have to check my diary, or can I get back to you about that? Or no, not just at the moment because I feel that I've got something on, but straight away, you know, too many times people say yes to things that they don't really want to say yes to because one, they've been put on the spot. Two, they're not consciously aware of what they're saying, and they go straight into fear, you know, and they just react. So it gives you that moment of control, of consciousness control, and you're able to then manage the situation so much better with a simple breath.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And I think
My pleasure.
A lot from that. We've had a few. I need to tell people our internet has somehow disconnected, and I'm on my mobile network, and we've had a couple of freezes. And I'm now going to admit I forgot to turn the recording on. It's just one of those days, but I've got the recording going now. So hopefully, what's on Facebook has recorded. And so I haven't seen any questions come through here. Right, Kelly. Yes, about knowing my purpose. I have a few interests, but now, sure, Kelly, can you type that in again? Did you mean, but now you're sure of your purpose most times? I'm not sure whether that's a question or not. Hard to see. With the lag on this is a bit of a challenge. So I don't know. I don't know whether anybody has any questions. It's one of those. What is it? It's a Friday, and it's the last day of the month here. For all the people who are watching at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, you and I are meeting every month on the last Friday of the month, aren't we, Susie?
Yes, we are. We are.
Yes, so that will be really good to remind everyone that you and I will be live on the last Friday of every month.
Yeah, last Friday of every month. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to put up a schedule for I don't know where I'll put it, but I'll put a schedule up because on the Kelly, you and I need to have a chat. I can see there what she's doing because she's got some of the same challenges some of my clients have got who want to do art. Yeah, so one of the yes, and then on Sunday I have two co-hosts. I have Beth and I have Bobby F. Parry Harvey, numerologist. So at 2 p.m. on Sunday, which is the 2nd of the 2nd at 2 p.m., we will be doing the numerology for February. So that will be happening on whatever, the 2, the 3, 3, 4, 4. And then on the last Friday of each month, Beth and I will be doing our intuitive wisdom, where you can come and ask questions. But I'll just ask, so Kelly,
2020, Susie, is a year which is dominated by the metal rat in Chinese astrology, but it's also in our, I guess, our astrology, because it's all numbers, it's all vibration. So this year, people need to be really mindful of their business, of their education, of self-promotion, because that's the focus of the year. The focus of the year is your purpose. So what is your purpose? Whether that be an expression through a modality, whether that be an expression through a mega business or something that you're creating, a book. That's all about your expression and your business life, and your education is what the focus is going to be for 2020. We have to be very, very, very mindful of our health in 2020. So our health needs to be a priority, and our personal relationships, our marriages, our partners, our families. So they're the things that we have to be really mindful of not neglecting in any way, shape or form. But what our power focus is on how we are going to have the best out of 2020. It's now time to really focus on your business, and I guess that's why we need to be really careful of our relationships, is because if we're focused on our business, we can't afford to neglect our partners, our children, our families, so, and our health, because that's where you need to find that balance. So being balanced in 2020 is really important between your expression and your peripheral life of your family. So that nice balance between your health and your business and your family is really, really, really important. So you need to allow time for that, because your creative expression is going to want to take over all the time. What it is that you're wanting to build is going to want to take over all the time. And you're going to be distracted by wanting to create, or, go further in your job if you're at work, maybe educate on another program in what you're already an expert in. But you really need to be mindful continuously in 2020 of your health and of your relationships. And the reasons why our sole purpose and our business is so paramount in this year of 2020, because it's a year of mastery. So it's 22. So it's what you are master in that is most prominent. And that can be anywhere from shoeing a horse to making oils to chefing to driving trucks to whatever that may be. Whatever you're a master in, there's going to be an extended expression of you wanting to do more, be better, whatever. The other side of that is you have to be mindful of your health and your family.
I think that's very interesting, because Kelly, I think what you're masterful of. Also, it's interesting because it's my year. I'm a rat. So I was born in the year of the rat. So yeah, very interesting to me, because it's a lot of that is about wealth and abundance as well. So,
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And being really comfortable with the fact that you are a creative entity that can create anything.
Absolutely, and I can. Kelly, yes, Kelly's saying she's not sure of her purpose. She wants to do art, Reiki to serve, and also to make a living. So
sounds good.
It does sound good. Yeah, Kelly, I will do a schedule, and if you're on my mailing list, which I'm about to start, I've just started yesterday, back on my mailing list. What I will do is I will put the schedule together, because it'll also make me fill in the other Fridays of when I do the show, of who's coming on, so you know what we're going to be talking about. And that's part of, for me, is being a bit more masterful of my schedule, rather than just letting things happen, because I'm really good at doing the on the fly. And I feel this year I need to be more organized so I get more done, so my books get written and things like that as well.
I call that creating the space, Susie. When you create the space for something to happen, That's why using a diary, whether it be on your phone or whether it be on paper or however, because if you create the space for something,
Yeah.
immediately, you know what other time you have. So by creating the space to do something, one, that allows you greater freedom because it's locked in. So you might have 2 hours put aside for this on a Monday, but you've got another 10 hours of the day that is available to you for more creation, for more time, for more spent. So
yeah,
by being able to create the space for something avails you greater freedom and greater focus on other things.
that is absolutely right, and it's a bit like, is it Pareto's law? You know, the 20% we do here gives us 80% of whatever, and I'm doing that with my business. That what I do for my business is going to be first thing, except of course on a Friday when I'm doing this. First thing in the morning, I'm spending that time on, I said, what is, money making activities. And then in the afternoons, I'm going to go back into painting and writing and things like that. So I get my book written. Because that's
Good.
One of the things I learned was my book's called Lucky to Be Alive. And I got to talk with a money mindset master 2 days ago. And as she said, that just the title of it might be maybe time to release that title, because that's what came from Mum many years ago when I was 16. So so I'm working on that. Well, we don't seem to have any more questions. We've got about 8 minutes left. If anybody would, I'm going to do a card for Beth. And I will, anybody else who pops in there that, yes, please, you would like a card. I'm assuming we're still
Susie, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Why?
Yeah.
Do I have a question I'd like to ask you? Well, one of the things that came up is with what's just come up for me in the last 4 or 5 days about this color your world. Sort of coloring in your world in turn through it's going to be color your world through love, so that in turn you can live in limitless abundance. Because I'll still be talking about that, but it's about adding this aspect of, because I get, as you can see, I get excited. Color your world. And so is it color your world with love?
That's the essence of it. You've got to think of what the focus is, what your focus is, and what you're wanting to provide. Mm-hmm. So if this is a service that you're providing, or is it something that you're creating for yourself? So you need to, I don't think you're clear.
Right.
I feel that, the intention is there, but you need to be really clear about, is this a service for your clients, or is it a mindset for yourself?
Interesting.
Because if you're creating something that you want to perpetuate, you need to listen to that again. If you're wanting to create something that you're wanting to perpetuate, you need to come from a mindset of being in service.
Yes. That's how I see it. That's what I feel when you say
Good.
that. I feel it here, that it's
So I think also one of the greatest things for 2020 that all of us need to be mindful of is our words.
Yes, really conscious. Yeah,
really mindful of our words. We need to be really mindful, because everything that we say goes out into the universe. Just for instance, people say to you, "Oh, how are you going today?" And you go, "Oh, yeah, not too bad." I mean, you're not
today. Beautifully, abundantly. Yeah.
Exactly, but people hear about that because that's unconscious program. Oh yeah, not too bad. All those people hear is not too bad. you know,
And
that you're back.
I'm just conscious of that because I woke up and, you know, because it's been all full, I was feeling tired. So we went for a swim in the sea. Yeah, and I realized some of the words I'm using program me to maybe turn the internet off, to whatever else. Absolute good example, brilliant example. And as Des says, I taught him all of this about words and that, but he now has to pick me up on my language. It's quite
That's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, because I've always been, people say, you know, how are you doing? I go, I'm fantastic, I'm excellent, I'm, you know, I'm this, I'm that. But you'll hear people having worked in the hospitality for years and 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 years, you know, the greatest gift that you can give someone is to turn their life around in an instant by saying a positive word. Or that made my day, thank you. By telling someone, wow, you look fantastic today, or elevating someone from looking down to looking up. And you can do so much by using and deliberate intention with the words that you use to impact change upon others and yourself and the relationship that you have with you.
And how you, whether you're smiling and the energy that you're putting out, other people will be conscious of as well. I know I'm very conscious of. I'm just conscious, you know, the beach is the best example for me. The number of people who are in this abundant, beautiful thing, and they're walking and they've still got their head down, and you say good morning or you smile at them, and you know, nothing. But all you can do there is put your energy out and hopefully it comes through.
People feel you before they see you, Susie, because we're vibrational and we have an aura that's in front of us and around us. So when you walk into a room, you can feel the energy in the room because of people's energy fields.
And people often say to me, they can feel my energy as I walk into a room.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. And you can feel when you get your body responds. Here's this amazing spirituality that we have, this amazing truth monitor that I call our body. When somebody walks into a room, and you'll get cold shivers, or you move in your chair because you want to know them all, because you can feel them. So we are ever present everywhere.
That's a good thing for everybody to take note of. We are ever present everywhere. On that note, I'm just going to draw a card for Beth.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Kelly and Sylvia, and then we will finish off for the day. Okay, so oh, there's a card. Interesting. There's a card sticking out here. I think that's new. Oh, me time. Interesting. Have you been really busy? Your resting heart delights as each day you make time exclusively for you.
I'm sighing.
Sighing. Yeah. Mm. Been doing lots of serving and been doing, you still have a house full of people? This is your year for creating that space for you, is what I just feel.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. You know, each week is only going to get better and more opportunistic, and yeah, it's a wonderful year.
Okay, Kelly, this one is for you. I won't be doing a lot of details today. Too many of them flew there. Okay, so Kelly, this is for you to tap into your heart, to really go into silence. This is what I'm hearing here. Go into silence with a journal and ask. Your heart knows what your purpose is. And look at the card that you got, passion. I think that, Kelly, that is amazing. When you follow the path of your heart, the flame of passion will light up your life. So I think my advice to you, and I'll actually send you a message as well. Right, I think that's spot on for somebody who's looking for their purpose at this point in time. And Sylvia, this one is for you. Imagine. You've got the imagine card. So that's focusing. I want you to focus on what it is you really, really, really want this year. What yeah, what you really, really desire. I know you're as somebody I know, so I know she's focusing very much on her health. So this is a reaffirmation for you to see so that you can then move into what it is you truly want to be doing. Okay, so that's our first, Beth and I first show for 2020.
Yeah.
The next one I will make sure the internet is working and I have actually recorded the whole thing. I want to thank everybody who's been here. I want to thank Beth for all her amazing wisdom that she is sharing with us. And love you all. Wish everybody an amazing 2020. And leave your words below. I'd love to know what words people have, chosen for the year to support yourself, because that word can really support you.
Very much so.
And Beth, do you have any parting words to people?
Looking forward to our monthly gathering, Susie. It's always a lovely time to express what comes through for the highest, best and good of all your audience that watch now and in the future. And looking forward to what the universe brings forward for us for next month. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Everybody off and love yourself into that limitless abundance. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye for now.